Hello, and welcome to the first disaster report. It's an idea I've had floating around for some time, as a lot of people on YouTube don't like to talk about if they don't do good in tournaments. Um, this is also going to be the first foray into editing, so you might see some weird shit. Anyway, it's a tale of hubris, pride, and loss. So I was going to a 30-man GT in my country and was high off winning the last tournament and winning a lot with my usual armies. I was doing well at the VTC practices and forging new ideas. So I did I did a rash thing. I made 3 armies and rolled a D3 to decide which one I was going to play for this tournament. Because surely I was that good that I could win with any army. As my luck would have it, I landed on playing the Warriors of Chaos, an army I have not played for over a year. I was full of bravado and I figured I would do well because, well, why wouldn't I? I was doing so well at this point. I was murdering people with Beastmen and other things. And I even refrained from practicing the army, instead choosing to practice for VTC style armies and entirely different armies actually. Um, to cope with this, and to cope with probably not winning the event, I reasoned with myself and others that I was gonna try and test out playing hyper aggressive, which I never normally do, which is sort of an excuse, I guess, for not doing well. So hellbent on utilizing some dragons, this is my list. It's very familiar to some people, and it has as a version of it has been propagated throughout the old world for some time. It is known as the 3 dragon list for chaos and is very dangerous to some people. We'll talk about that. Uh, anyway, my list concept is that everything has magic rest 2 or more. So even the 25 Forsaken I brought in core are have magic rest 3 because they're of Tzeentch, of course. Sorry. Um, everything is pretty mobile except for the Forsaken, but the Forsaken are meant to be like a brick that soaks the damage so the dragons can come in. Another thing that didn't really work. Anyway, for this tournament, there was an interesting FAQ where you get to make your full attacks except for stomps and impact hits against low linear obstacles. And I was expecting a lot of expeditionary force, a lot of elementalism, you know. So I figured this is pretty good for the dragons. It could be good. And, how bad can a toughness 5 dragon really be? Uh, when you're spoiled normally with toughness 6 dragons. And the Warpfire dragon looks okay on paper. He's 405 points, which is incredibly expensive, but he is pretty good. There were some things I was surprised about by the army, and some things I was very much disappointed about that you will hear a lot about. They will come in a later video. Anyway, let's move into the first game. For the first battle report, I have brought Morten here to be my emotional support animal. Uh, as it
Benjamin
did not go
usually
so
needs a
well.
lot of emotional support.
Yes, after this tournament I do. I played
Yeah.
against Martin for the first game, also known as Mini Dip. He was former VTC player last year. We had him on our team.
Wasn't he the best performing Tomb King last year?
Yes, no, or maybe second. He did very, very well. But this time he didn't bring
Yeah.
Mordcold. He brought an army of monsters to maybe also capitalize on the LLO change, that you can make your full attacks but not stomp or impact hits against things behind a low linear obstacle. Maybe. I don't know. That's what I did, I guess, after I landed on Chaos. This was my list. We went through that. It's going to have some glaring weaknesses against this list, which we will get into later. This is Martin's list. It is sort of like a monster mash list with some cheap chaff scoring and a lot of magic, like 7 levels of
Seven,
magic.
7 levels of magic, but there's no casket. So
There's no casket, but it's a fast-moving army. Well, some of it is, uh, and the rest is more like support.
it's
We,
a naked. It's a naked battle standard bearer. He doesn't have any banner. He doesn't have any items.
yeah,
There's no anti-stomp on the warriors.
nope, they were not. Anyway, we go into the first game. I deploy. For the first game, we have 3 objectives and 12 inches in. I think it's drawn battle lines. It's called. All the games were drawn battle lines, just with different kinds of objectives. But the first one, I wanted to deploy my Forsaken center and contest the middle objective. Have him come out and attack them, so I could use the dragons to play. I deployed 1 dragon. I can edit here if it wants to. Did not want to. Kind of wanted to. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter.
We're making it up as we go. So you have 2
Anyway,
dragons in the middle, one to the right of the Forsaken, one behind them.
yeah, this one is the Warpfire dragon.
That's the Warpfire.
Yeah, I wanted the Warpfire up there because I rolled Arcane Urgency, and I figured I could maybe use that for something. Then I had the Stone Thrower to try to put some wounds, but he had a lot more drops than me, so I just wanted to kill the Tomb Scorpions. They are relatively easy to kill.
They're easy to kill, just don't let them
Yeah,
combo charge you.
if you don't charge, like my plan was to not let them charge with them. Then I put the Marauders on the flanks to contest these objectives, because over here I will use a more bright one. Over here there was a little point where you could take this objective and couldn't be seen as easily, and the same thing kind of applied to this. Over here, there's the guys over here, they would go around and threaten these things, and the dragon would too, to try to threaten the scoring units, but not be double charged by the Necrosphinx. This is all fine and well. He deployed like this. He put all his mages in here. I think he sort of forgot about the Cloak of the Dunes, that he can't join units, but so did I guess. Then we move into I got the first turn, and the game started off well. It started off so well that I rolled for Gaze of the Gods on both my Exalted Champion and my General Exalted Champion. And my General rolled 1, and then he rolled a 1 again.
So he's stupid for the rest of the game.
Yes, he is stupid on Leadership 8.
Amazing.
And impetuous.
Good thing you brought rerolls, right?
Yeah, it's great. I love this game. And my other guy, he just walked up. He just kept getting attacks, so he was a good boy. My Forsaken moved forward, did an open order pivot after moving 5 and a small pivot. They just move up there, just to contest and have him. I figured he couldn't charge me with everything, but and even if he did, I figured I would still be alive with like 5 or 6 guys, and then they would flee with Stubborn through this unit, or maybe because they have Stubborn. And then I would catch all his small elements out, and these guys would still be alive and probably give up some points, but that's fine. That's not what happened. The Forsaken
There are not many Forsaken remaining.
No, he really did.
And
he had
everything...
he had one of the turns that Khemri can do sometimes, where they cast Plague of Rust through Magic Rust 3, and they cast Jav's Curse Blades and all kinds of shit. Then it all went to hell. The unit didn't die, which is, I guess, okay.
But what happened? Because they're still engaged and they didn't flee through the
Yeah,
Marauders.
they rolled like a 3 or 2. So they didn't really want to go through today.
No?
It was too much, too stressful to run through your friends. So that was great, and my dragons were positioned awkwardly, as you can see. Um, which
I can
which
kind of I can kind of see that they're not really focusing on anything,
no, they didn't
and
quite
they
believe.
basically have to get the hell out of there, right? Because
Yeah,
he's
because
gonna kill,
he's gonna kill it
and
in
then he's
my
gonna
turn,
reform.
I guess,
Yeah,
which is terrible. It's just awful. So what happened was, this is some turns later after the Forsaken died. The Forsaken died horribly. Um, these guys, the Marauders closest to the Forsaken, ran away. Not really ran, but I just moved them away. They marched
okay.
away to hide, as they should, and the other Marauders kept taking that objective, which was pretty good. I decided to try and pressure the bunker because I had to do something. Then his guys killed my 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 Forsaken, of course, and
What did they get then? What did they charge? What did they kill?
uh, yeah, they killed my guys. Then they turned around. Um, then he used my will be done, and then he used TMP on another thing, and then
Damn, he
then
got TMP off.
then all his shit was up there. It was um it was a little rough at this point because as you can see, my leader is right up there. I will point him out if I know how to do that. Here he is. He's up there. He's just a cool guy.
Like it looks like he has a Tomb King in his side.
Yeah, he does, because just before this happened, um, remember we talked about how he was stupid? He failed
And he
his.
was stupid.
He had just killed a unit, and then he moved over there, and then he failed his stupidity at some point just before. Then he cast the Scroll of Withering on me, which is pretty bad, combined with the Flail of Skulls, which may or may not. Well, it did. It one-shot at my general. And then,
Well, if you've got no saves, then
yeah. Then I went and got another beer because things were bad. Things were real bad.
Speaking of alcohol, how were you feeling before the game started?
I was feeling terrible. The gracious host, the owner of this huge place where we were, an actual castle, uh, gave me some head. What's it called? Panodil, I guess. And Ipren, for the head, because I was quite hungover, because in my hubris I could beat everyone anyway, which
Yeah.
is clearly not working out.
Do you want to talk more about that or
I did earlier, but the a lot of things frustrated me in this game. It was just how it kind of felt unfair that actually I have 200 more points than he does, and if you look at the list, he has so much useful stuff. Everything's kind of useful, sort of.
yeah,
This this is
but
can be very hard to use.
but
Um,
I kind of see why he has more useful stuff than you do though.
because
And there's like right in the middle of your list basically. There's like 475.
yes, but it was a test. It was good to
Yeah.
it was good to have an MR3 unit. That's something you never see in the game. But it's like they lose, like as you will see in the second game, they actually lose so much output, and they lose speed if they're not Slaanesh. They just get the MR free, but people are just gonna shoot at something else. And if it's an army that can actually cast spells and you don't have any mages, like except for the level 1 dragon, then he's probably gonna get some of it through anyway.
Yeah.
Like a wild herd will still get stuff through. So it's a little rough. Then my lord died. Back to that. That was so great. And
But it looks like you have a dragon on the left side of the picture there,
yeah, the
kind of staring
dragon
into
has
the forest.
been spending the game killing scoring units, which
Okay.
was fine because it couldn't really go in the center. But then there was this last thing here where he tried to make me fail the Impetious test. It didn't work though, uh, luckily. Um, then I just hit all my shit. I hit everything. I hit the dragon and the other dragon. The Warfire dragon actually flies a lot further away in my turn. Um, and I try to take a shot at the scorpion. He's actually moving on the picture. Um,
Brave Sir Robin bravely ran away.
yeah, cause he had like all kinds of things. It was just a bad game. It was fun, but it was enjoyable, but it wasn't the best game, I guess. Yes. So that's about it
Sounds
for that
sounds
game.
sounds like it was a perfect storm of things going wrong and you being wrong.
Yeah, I think it's mostly me being wrong, cause things going wrong I should take into account. Um, I should place my lord so he doesn't become stupid and it doesn't well not that he doesn't become stupid. I should place him so that he doesn't lose the game if he fails a stupid test. He just loses a turn. That's my fault. Also
Yeah.
my fault in the list building, but that's more of a you can play around that, I guess. So I feel it's more of the execution of the list that I lacked, and also the fact that the list might be too small in this meta. It's good to have bodies, and
Yeah.
you will see the Forsaken just keep kind of disappointing. Um,
But maybe also the fact, I don't know, the dragons. Usually dragons they work really great together.
yeah, I tried to do that in the later game. My idea was to swoop around and then kill the brick because it didn't have a Monster Hunter's Tapestry.
Yeah.
Just to try and get in there and then just kill the guys, you know. Um, but I couldn't. I couldn't really do it. There were too many things in the way, and I don't know.
Too
It's
many stupidity tests
yeah,
and
but
too many Forsakens being overextended.
yeah. I didn't feel they were overextended. I just kind of assumed they would last longer because I did the math, and I was like, I ain't that afraid of that with my 5-up ward save and my armor, and then my armor disappeared, and then my other thing. And yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. And everything hit them.
Yeah, everything.
How how far did the Sphinxes have to charge? Because it looked pretty
It
far,
was
but
two
I
max
guess
charges.
it was 219s.
Yeah, it was. I was very disheartened by that because I figured maybe he would. Because it would be fine if he like the more sphinxes that don't go in, the more my odds improve of holding him there.
Yeah.
Um, which would be awesome, and then they would fail charge, and then I would punish him for it. That's why I set up for that. I kind of set up for it. Because I had one here. On the, you can almost see it.
Yeah, I can tell that if the outmost Sphinx, if it fail charges, it's gonna go into the forest.
Yeah, that's right. So I set up for that. I set up here too to have my options open, depending on where the scorpions were gonna go, or. But it all just kind of went to shit. it's it's I think it's an issue. Maybe I didn't bring enough scoring also because there were like 3 objective, 4 objective, and then the King of No Hill, which we will get to. But I think you could really do with a lot of more orders in the new Chaos Army with Unnatural.
Yeah.
They seem okay.
Can you have a unit of like foot marauders with toughness 5? How does it work?
Yeah, you can have a unit of Foot Marauders with toughness 5 for 1 turn, but they'll just be
For
toughness
one
4
turn.
otherwise, but they will have 4-up saves in close combat. So
Toughness 4 save is pretty tanky actually.
yeah, it is pretty good. It's like an orc. It is an orc.
Yeah.
Just without randomly charging things. So I guess it's something. But
It's a controllable orc.
but I will. I think I learned a lot from the game actually, kind of. That I didn't. I learned a lot about the limitations of an all aggro army that wants to that can actually only fight. How you're just limited in options, and depending on, even if your enemy is an aggressive army like his was, he still has the advantage of choosing things, because he can still
Yeah.
shoot with like the horse archers and the small skirmisher guys. They can still put out some shooting and weaken my scoring units each turn if they see them. Which is
Just have to slowly whittle down those Marauder Horsemen, and then they're not scoring anymore.
yeah. And then you just kind of lose, I guess, if you don't catch anything that's really valuable. I also feel that maybe, yeah. Well, I'll take that in the epilogue. uh, anyway, let's call it. I will be back with the second episode where you will hear about my Lizardman game.
Ooh.
Ooh.